Hey guys, this is 101 Smith, also known as Reggie Smith. I'm here to present today to the Gunpla Network my review of the Master Grade Turn A Gundam. The box art for the Turn A Gundam is a little bit on the bland side. However, the color choice for the background as well as the silhouette for the Turn A itself does help it stand out against your traditional Gundam box. The choice of a very sky blue that really helps to complement the white and the more of the warmer tones of blue, white, and red are really going to help the Turn A stand out towards other master grades instead of a big dark sky or a stock explosion in space. This is really going to help stand out with a warm and inviting color scheme. The building process for the Turn A Gundam is honestly to me one of the more unique builds that I've ever gotten out of Gunpla. Yes, I've built a lot of Gundams in my day, but this one was just so different. Aesthetically, it's a lot better. There's a lot more ingenuity that goes into it that you really weren't seeing a lot from the Master Grade line in the late 2000s. You're building up inner frame parts, and this thing uses absolutely no polycaps whatsoever, which was still brand new at the time. I think the only master grades that were using no polycaps were the variations of the F91 and Crossbones. There's a lot of great color separation. There's very little things that you have to paint, however. You need to paint the circles on the legs and the actual Gree Turn A logo on its head. It does give you a sticker, but I really suggest using a green or metallic green Gundam marker instead of using the sticker. It's really going to help it pop more. I will give the build for the Master Grade Turn A Gundam an 8.5 out of 10. The look of the Master Grade Turn A Gundam is just uncomparable. It's better than any version of the Turn A we have, whether it was the old 1100 from 1999 or even the more recent day high grade. This is Sid Mean's baby come to life. There's absolutely no complaints that I have. The silhouette is perfect. There's the great amount of color separation. You get this mech and organic design that's into it, along with your traditional machinery Gundam parts that you have in a look. This thing is just absolutely perfect. I have no complaints other than two slight little paint jobs that you have to do. But again, it's really anything that anyone of any level of Gunpla can do. It's just phenomenal and it's just perfect. I have nothing more to say about the silhouette of the Master Grade Turn A. The overall look of the Turn A Gundam gets a 10 out of 10. Articulation for the Turn A Gundam is, again, one of the high points of this kit. It's very akin to RX-78 in that it's not bogged down by a heavy weapon set or a big giant packback or wings. Now, I love those aesthetically, but I love to be able to just have a pose down, a gritty pose, or just be able to fight, and the Turn A delivers on that. You get fully articulated fingers with the 3-1 in the split. This thing has articulation on the legs that I haven't seen before. And you can actually extend the legs out even more than your traditional forwards and backwards, with a lot of great ankle armor movement, as well as the mesh in the back of the legs being able to move in and out as you pose the legs. The toes are on their own joints and can do whatever you want them to do. This thing is unhindered by its shoulder joints because they're connected to the back instead of your traditional plug-in with the arm socket. This thing has great posing with the elbows and the knees. And the only maybe downside there is that there isn't really a lot of chest posability, but that's due to some of its gimmicks. Again, this is a very high point of this kit. The weapons and everything when it comes to posing don't get in the way. Nothing gets in the way. You can pretty much do whatever pose you can imagine with the Turn A Gundam. I will give the posability and the articulation of the Turn A Gundam a 9.5 out of 10. The accessories are pretty unique to the Turn A Gundam. While yes, you do get your standard shield and beam rifle, they're a little bit different. For example, the shield looks like a freaking surfboard. This thing has a very unique and organic design that I haven't seen in shields in a while in Gundam. Very circular, reminds me of the Gelgoof from 0079. It's a great design choice, and I'm happy that it was chosen by Sid Mean. The beam rifle, again, doesn't look like your standard beam rifle. It can be held in a hand like a suitcase. You can put it in the back. You can hold it with one arm or two arms. It's very versatile in how you're able to pose it. Then you're going to get a Gundam hammer, which you don't see outside of the RX-78. And the Gundam hammer works very well. You're going to have to watch out a little bit for nubs when you're building it, but the chain, it uses a real chain, and you're able to hold on and connect it to an anchor. This thing is really fun to pose and really just be able to throw around like a wrecking ball. As well, you also get a couple of missiles that you can put onto the inside of the Turn A chest, kind of like in the TV show. As well, for some weird reason, they give you a figure of a cow. I don't know why. I guess this was in the anime, but they give you a cow. And I know that's so weird, but just for them to be able to even have that in mind and have fun with the Turn A when it comes to accessories. It's wacky, but it works. I'm going to give the accessories an 8.5 out of 10. Where is the fun to be had in the Master Grade Turn A Gundam? It's the Turn A Gundam. Just by itself, that's a lot of fun. This thing is very unique, and you can recreate a lot of the scenes of the Turn A Gundam anime, such as using the Turn A to hose a black hole, or to use its chest for a washing machine. You can use it to play farm animals, or you could just use it to kick ass in any other pose. Just the amount of versatility that comes with this kid is very impressive for something that, honestly, just like RX-78, is very simplistic with its setup. But still, as long as you have an imagination and have a respect and ideal for what you want to do with your Turn A Gundam, pretty much the only thing that could stop you is maybe gravity. And even then, you can always hook up an action base. And you do get a unique attachment to it. So, really, there's nothing that can stop you when it comes to how you want to present or pose or how you want to have fun with your Turn A Gundam. I'm going to give the fun factor of the Turn A Gundam a 9 out of 10. My overall thoughts on the Turn A Gundam. I know in the Gundam and Gunpla community, the Turn A Gundam gets a mixed bag. Some people respect its originality, some people love the anime, some people think this is one of the most ugliest Gundams to ever come out of the series. Me personally, I like it. It's just so different from your standard RX-78s, your Strikes, your Wing Zeros. I love those things just as much as any other else. But this thing is just so simple, but yet it has such a unique look, from the mustache to the fact that it looks like an alien samurai. I just loved the fact that I was able to add this Turn A Gundam to my collection, and I'm very happy of how the build came off. This thing is just a lot of fun, and if you have a respect for it, I highly suggest that you get the Turn A Gundam. This thing was ahead of its time in 2007, and has aged very well in comparison to the other Gunpla's Master Grades of the mid to late 2000s. It will service you well, and it will be a great standout to your collection. My only gripe is that I really wish that this had came with the Moonlight Butterfly. But unfortunately, Bandai didn't think about that until years later and decided to make it Pete Bandai. That would have made this the perfect, complete kit for me. But alas, that's out of my control. But still, by itself, this thing is a phenomenal addition to your collection. And as a fan of Gunpla, even if you hate the look, trust me, you will love it. You will fall in love with it. And I just urge you all to just give it a chance. This is 101 R. Smith. I will see you later.